Hey, beautiful Virgo. Welcome to your tarot and oracle card reading for the middle of November to the middle of December. I am Teresa, Doctor of Metaphysics and Tarot Master, here to bring a deeper meaning and understanding to the cards. God, Spirit, Universe, please bring truth, clarity, and wisdom to this reading for the Virgo family and help Virgo navigate to their highest and most blessed timeline. Thank you, Spirit. All right, beautiful Virgo. You're starting out in a very, very potent, powerful position. You have the magician here and also the fool here. So you're like super connected to spirit, the fool, you have a strong resonance with faith. You know that that spirit has your back, and you also know your own power. Magician. You're wielding your magic wand. You both have this magic wand. And gosh, this is very similar to Leo's reading. So if you have Leo in a powerful place in your chart, or you resonate strongly with Leo, I recommend that reading as well, because you have several of the same cards. And I definitely shuffled these cards for you, beautiful Virgo. So that is very, very interesting. With the magician, you are creating the life of your dreams. You're using your mind, your body, and your spirit, your thoughts, words, and deeds. Your fire, water, and air to manifest earth, your life. And I really feel like with the magician, as above, so below, where focus goes, energy flows. You're keeping your eyes on the prize, and you're keeping your mind on what your intentions might be. And this is actually clarified with the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is like wounded warrior energy. Like you've been carrying a large load for a while, It's getting heavy. It's a lot of work. You might be doing other people's work for them as well with the Nine of Wands. This is toil, heavy toil, and I feel like your load is about to get lighter. And we're going to get advice cards with these, but your load is about to get lighter, but also the work is about to pay off. All of the energy that you expelled is about to show why you did it all, what the actual payoff is. You may be wondering, what will the payoff be? With the Nine of Wands, like burning the candle at both ends, getting up early, staying up late. It's very, very passionate. Like, I want to do this as well. You will also have the Ace of Wands in your reading. I'm on fire for this. I'm passionate about this. I'm gonna make this happen. It's a strong sense of determination, pretty unstoppable. I don't see anything stopping you in this reading. Like, whatever it is that you're working for, beautiful Virgo, I feel very strongly that it's going to manifest in short order. We're doing a 30-day window. I wouldn't be surprised if it manifested by mid-December. Okay. And then you have the Seven of Cups. So this is choose wisely, choose. This is going to be different for every one of you beautiful Virgos, but this could be, relationships, career-based, investment-based, where to even live, who to even hang out with. Some of these choices are not good for you. So you really do have to be discerning. Two of Swords, clarifying. Be discerning. Truly think about your choices. Your choices have more impact at this time than maybe they did before. So Spirit is trying to remind you that the road that you take is going to lead you somewhere, right? It's not playtime anymore, beautiful Virgo, And also the Two of Swords is a pair of scissors. You're cutting something out. Two of Swords was an uneasy truce. Two things in your life didn't get along with one another. They didn't agree. One example is you have a long commute to work and your family wants more time with you. What do? Do you change where you live? Do you all move closer to your work? Do you leave your job? You're not going to probably leave your family. But you see, this is an energy where this can go on for a little while, but it's not sustainable, and something's got to give eventually. And you've reached that point. Something's got to give. And you're going to make a choice based on your intuition and your higher self's nudging, with the Seven of Cups. You have the Dove of Peace there in the center at the fulcrum of your choice, right? So you're going to make your choice based on peace. And here you have the Moon in the center, based on intuition, based on what benefits you. With the Two of Swords also, this uneasy truce is between two energies. One is beneficial and the other is destructive. So both of these cards have a very similar message. It's time to choose and to cut something out. And then you have Ace of Wands, very fiery, very passionate, and Eight of Cups, walking away from something that no longer serves. So this could be a fight about walking away from something. But it could also be very passionately going towards something new, very eagerly walking toward something more authentically aligned with your higher timeline. Eight of Cups is like, you used to value those cups, You go from the Seven of Cups to the Eight of Cups. That's very, very interesting. I mean, you're going from making a choice to walking away, And again, like I said, you used to value those cups. When we get to the Eight of Cups, we're not walking away from something that didn't have any meaning to us at all. It had a lot of meaning to us. So there's a little bit of sadness there, but it's a fated time. We wait until the perfect time to walk away from the Eight of Cups. Timing is divine, and so are you, right? So divine timing aligns with your higher timeline, and now you're going in that direction. That's it. Ace of Wands, fiery new beginning, And then also energy, having the energy and the stamina to pursue a new life, really. Then you have the Fool and Two of Cups. Wow. I mean, for some of you, this is most assuredly a love reading where you're literally getting out of one relationship and getting into another. I mean, yikes. For some of you. For others of you, it's a reading where you're walking away from one thing and going right into another situation that's like that, leaving one job for another job, moving out of one home to another home, leaving one community for another community, finding what aligns with you so much more and choosing that and exercising that in your life, changing your future, changing your timeline. By doing that. The Two of Cups is alignment with your higher self, ultimately. This is a strong, strong indication of love, but it's also like romantic love and partnership, and connection to other on any basis, platonic or otherwise. But also it is, like I said, truly being aligned with spirit as well, and that's where true love manifests. When we align with our true self and we love ourselves, that's when love manifests in our life, out of the blue, seemingly, I want to say. And then you have this beautiful Fool card with that Two of Cups. This is trusting, taking this as a blessing, whatever this new alignment is, whatever this new direction is, having faith in it, believing in it, taking a leap of faith, and just feeling that God is making all this happen for you, just recognizing the synchronicities as blessings, not as coincidences, and living in a magical place for a time. And then you have the Four of Wands at the bottom of the deck and the Wheel of Fortune under that, goodness gracious, and the Queen of Cups. Wow. All right, so I will just say the Four of Wands is grounding your energy. Your wands is your fire. It flies through the air. It's immovable. But when you plant them in the ground like trees, like in the Four of Wands, you're making a commitment. You're committing your energy to a person, place, or thing. You're choosing someone. So a lot of people see this as a marriage card because you're committing to a person. But it can also be a housewarming because you're committing to a place, to a home. It could also be a homecoming, someone coming back home. It's an energy of commitment, recommitment, stabilizing your energy. You know, instead of making a conflagration all around and burning the world down, you are constructively using your fire toward something, toward securing your future, creating boundaries, creating structure in your life, you know, creating structure in your life. And the Wheel of Fortune under that is like, it's time. The time has come to do that. The opportunity is here to do that. And the bottom of the other deck is the Eight of Pentacles, work, getting to work, making things happen. I mean, you, with the Eight of Pentacles are like in the Rider-Waite version, making one coin after another, right? Refining your skills, getting really, really good, perfecting your art, your method of communication, or whatever it is that you're creating, just getting good, getting better than others too, you know? With the Eight of Pentacles, you're creating your harvest. You're creating your wealth, you know? Again, you're securing your future, I want to say too, you know? So let's get some advice cards for beautiful Virgo for the middle of November to the middle of December. That's a lot of cards, beautiful Virgo. We won't do that. All right. Let's see what we have for Virgo. Okay. Virgo, please. Thank you, Spirit. All right, Virgo. I left the Eight of Pentacles in the deck because anything that shows up at the bottom of the deck gets reshuffled, and it came out in your advice. So really pay attention. The Eight of Pentacles is important. There's work to be done. Okay. There's work to be done. And you have the Nine of Wands in your reading. You know, this is a lot of work. So it's not time to hang it up. It's not time to take a break right now. Okay. So you have the Hierophant with the Nine of Swords. So the Hierophant is pointing the way home, pointing the way to spirit. You know, the fives are in the middle between the aces and the tens. So the aces are source, where we come from, and the tens where we're going back home. In the fives, you can't be further away from either, so it gets dark and you get lost. So you need someone to show you the way. And that's why this originally was called the Pope or the Papist. You know, we would go to spiritual leaders or gurus to show us the way. Now we don't need to do that so much. We can look within. And that's what the Hierophant is showing you. He's pointing to your heart. And that's going to help you to navigate to the center of the labyrinth. You know, to solve the riddle. You're solving a riddle of sorts. And with the Nine of Swords, you have a lot of thoughts. So much thinking. And for a lot of you, it's worry. Things that keep you up at night. Things that get you up in the morning, that haunt your sleep, I want to say. This isn't going to apply to all of you, but for some of you, this is undeniable, the Nine of Swords. So many thoughts that it torments you, you know, so many possibilities. You don't want to make the wrong choice. You have to take other people's, or you feel like you have to take other people's feelings into consideration. And there's regrets here. There's regrets with the Nine of Swords, you know, and fear. There's fear. And it's because you're not living in the now. You know, regret is in the past, fear is in the future. The answer is be here now, you know. And I really feel that. That's what the Hierophant is pointing to your heart. Be here, he's saying. And the Nine of Swords is giving you that message as well. The Hierophant is also saying connect to spirit, your God's guides and guards, your angels, you know, all of that. However you connect, this is time. You know, you can see his crown chakra open, and that's the cure to the sleepless nights, you know, is prayer and connection on a higher level, right? So that's going to be your remedy. And also you have the Eight of Pentacles again, like I said, and the Devil. So the Devil is materialism, but with the Eight of Pentacles, it's like workaholism. You know, the Devil can always be some type of an addiction, you know. And with the Eight of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands in your reading, it could be like workaholism, like you can't stop me from doing this. I'm going to keep doing this because this is my path. You know, you're not going to get in the way, type of thing. And this is in your advice cards. So this is saying, don't stop, you know, keep doing it. Whatever it is that whatever you're working on, You know what it is. You don't let anybody stop you. With the devil, I feel like, somebody might want to stop you as well. And there might be doubt in your own mind, And I want to point out that the devil is the number 15 of the major arcana, and the Hierophant is number 5 of the major arcana. So this is the lower octave. The devil is the lower octave of the Hierophant. When you don't connect to spirit, when you get lost in the 5s and you stay lost, devil energy comes in. Because there's all kinds of energy in this world, people or spiritual or otherwise, who will take a lost soul and be all too happy to manipulate it to their own ends. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And that's what the devil is. And also the devil is materialism. You can see the pentacle here, the pentagram, it's inverted. So the point is pointing down. And that means that you're putting your root chakra over your crown chakra, that you're putting the earth element over the ether element. And so, materialism, sexuality, addictions, deceit, lying to yourself, choosing to be blind. There's none so blind as he or she who will not see, choosing to be blind and all that, right? Free yourself from that. The remedy to the devil is always, so oftentimes it happens, we live our lives in chains and we never even know we have the key. Know that you have the key. The original Hierophant wore a key, or he held a key, right? The key is your spirituality. The key is your crown chakra. The key is prayer, I want to say. And also, it feels like whatever it is that you're creating for a lot of you helps other people to be free or is freeing you. It's a spiritual endeavor. I feel like there's a spiritual aspect to your creation as well. And then you have the Justice at the bottom of this deck, and you have the Knight of Swords at the bottom of this deck. And this is just confirmation of divine timing and divine alignment. The Knight of Swords also has an energy of the Yod, the Yud, the finger of God, divine timing, just like the Two of Swords does. So it feels like the Knight of Swords is like going really super fast and furious as well, right? This is not time to hesitate. He who hesitates is lost. And the 5s is lost energy, which you have. So don't be lost. Don't hesitate, I want to say. And then the Justice card you have. This is balance. And with the Justice card, keep your heart as light as a feather. In Justice, you have the goddess Mot, and she's holding a scale with a feather on one scale, and she's going to put your heart in the other scale. After you leave this realm, is your heart going to balance with a feather? Whatever it is that you're doing right now that might be weighing your heart down, with, again, regrets or fears or whatever, right? Get rid of that and you will be free. Okay. So let's get some oracle cards for beautiful Virgo for mid-November to mid-December. Thank you. We've got 3 decks of oracle cards here for you, beautiful Virgo. And they're really saying interesting things, I will say. All right, so you have Earth Spirit stability, right? Stabilizing that 4 of Wands energy and the Pentacles energy of grounding things into being. And you have Moonlight enchantment, magic, because you are the magician. Okay, you are the magician. So I love that. And then you have Pleiades and Mintaken. Mintaken is an ancient star seed home, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. And Pleiades, another original star seed home, double mission, channeling, and uplifting humanity. It feels like, remember when I said that your creation had something to do with spirituality or showing people the way? I feel like it's because your star seed activation, and this may not resonate with all of you, but I'm feeling it, that your star seed activation has, in divine timing, in divine alignment, which you have, has like said it's go time, time to make this thing happen for the world. And then you have balance, just like in the Justice card, right? The two balances, heart and feather, and hope. So super optimistic, super beautiful, but don't go crazy. Don't lose yourself. I want to say with the Devil card and balance, stay centered, stay grounded, and remember why you're doing it in the first place. All right. So thank you so much, beautiful Virgo, for being here. Thank you for being you, and I'll see you next time. Peace.